ESPN is the most followed brand on TikTok now. 41 million followers.
Yep.
That's wild.
The guy that runs
Omar.
ESPN's socials, that guy Omar, who started House of Highlights, sold to Bleacher Report. It's interesting because like when you think of TikTok and most followed brand, you would think Shein or Fashion Nova. I don't know. I would think of 100 other brands before them. The fact that ESPN is number one is pretty impressive. The one other thing about it that I like, someone just made a comment like 3 days ago about this. They posted 65 times in 24 hours.
65 times in 24 hours.
The reason
ESPN did.
I'll tell you why it doesn't surprise me.
No, just everything from cultural to game clips to...
The only reason it doesn't surprise me is because
But is that
number
the
one,
strategy?
sports are so hot.
Yeah.
And number two, they have endless content.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
No intro. It's Sunday. We're all a little sleepy.
Yeah, I'm
Everyone's
tired.
exhausted.
Everyone's exhausted. Probably
But
for
you're
different
gonna-
reasons.
You're going to wake up and we're going to give you some energy.
Yeah, we're going to give you some energy. And you guys, probably exhausted from like kids and
I actually, Friday night, totally forgot. I was like trying to think just now, why am I so tired?
yeah.
Friday night, I was in Vegas.
For F1? What for?
No, not F1, for a meeting.
Oh.
And I didn't stay up late. I think I was in my room by 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
But Dominic had a soccer match in the morning, so I woke up at 6 a.m.
Yep.
to get on the 8 o'clock flight.
I was actually shocked to see D there because we were planning to go see Dom's soccer.
Yeah.
I knew he was in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, he's here.
What time did it start?
9:30.
Wow. That's impressive.
I can't sleep. So like I can't sleep past like 6:15.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
and then that day becomes
Wait,
long.
hold on. Shout out to Dom. He had 3 goals.
Yeah, he did have 3
Get a hat
socks.
trick. Yeah. This guy's the
little Beckham.
they need to start doing the documentary, the Beckham.
What's
Make
interesting,
sure you film a lot of it.
it's interesting to watch just so
They were legit goals. I was there. I'm not like gaslighting.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah,
just like
he's-
fired a goal from like 20 yards
yeah,
out.
he did. He like kicked a big goal from far out.
Really?
What's interesting watching, just like, you see kids every month in like your first probably 5-6 years. It's
Yeah.
like you see progression.
Yep.
And physical, mental, whatever it is.
Yep.
And so it's like with Dominic at the beginning of the soccer season, this is his second, technically third, but second year in AYSO.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was irrelevant. He just not engage. And, he was there. He liked it, but he was not good by any stretch of the imagination.
Yep.
This year, kind of just let him do his thing. But then he came home and he wanted to play. So then I was like, all right, if we're going to play, like you might as well learn.
Yeah.
So I remember literally like when I was like 28 years old, a friend of ours was I think he was an ex-professional player and a coach.
Yeah.
And he taught us like 28 years old how to play soccer.
Yeah.
And so I remember all the drills. So I start doing the drills with them every morning for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how you can actually see the results of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like he literally like the things we practice he's doing. It's pretty impressive that how quickly kids pick up.
Yeah.
It's also interesting because like you never know like what your kid's going to be interested in.
I know. That must be so.
It's so
strange.
weird.
Yeah.
It's like,
I've seen the progression with Dominic specifically because basketball and baseball, he was kind of like half in, half out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I saw him just grinding soccer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
Does he go through like phases?
Well, I think he's just like, he's now in kindergarten, and in the kindergarten, there's first, second, third graders.
Yeah.
So in the free play time,
Yeah.
he's playing with like a second grader.
Yeah. That's cool.
Even in his soccer team, there's second graders on there.
Yeah.
So like he is getting to play with older kids.
Yeah.
And it's what's so interesting is like, it's such like an interesting, because like part of like in the old dads, if you watch the movie yet.
Yeah, I started it.
You
I gotta finish it.
But it's
Kareem
like,
wasn't into it, so I now when she goes to sleep, I turn on like my thing.
yeah.
So that'll be tonight. I'll get back.
But it's interesting because like in like the new like progressive style of parenting,
Yeah.
competition is not like,
Yeah. Like celebrated.
they don't, because I think the idea is that it puts pressure.
But don't you feel like you could just turn your kid into, there's an opportunity
Yes.
to turn your kid into just a killer
Yes.
because no one else is doing it.
You're gonna be that.
We'll
dad?
know the experiment because
Okay.
I am like,
I love that.
when the timeouts, I'm whispering in his ear,
Yeah.
like, you
Kill these kids.
motherfucking better attack.
Yeah.
We're scoring every
Yeah.
time we get the ball.
Okay, I like that.
Right. Like, and like, it's interesting because like, I don't know what I have to believe most parents are saying that. I know it's not, you don't talk about it publicly anymore.
No, of course. I think
Yeah.
I think it's
when
really
the
well
kids go
known.
home,
You'd think
they're
so.
like, well, it depends. Because I do talk to a lot of parents and they're like, oh, do you play with Dominic? I was like, yeah, I mean, he's into it. Why wouldn't I play with him?
Yeah.
So some parents may not. What's interesting is I think I mentioned this on the pod a few months ago during the summer. There was a friend's birthday
Yeah.
in the West Side,
Yeah.
like Mar Vista, one of those areas.
Yeah.
And there's all these kids playing soccer and sports and baseball.
Yep.
And they were so athletic.
Yeah.
They were all Australian. A lot of them are Australian descent.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, these kids are athletic.
Yep.
But then like on my side of town in West Hollywood, the kids
Yeah,
generally
Kids aren't.
are.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's an opportunity there.
Yeah.
I think what we're seeing here is a rare opportunity because I think people will catch up, in a few years,
Yeah.
and the next round will have that instinct.
Yeah. You'll be a little ahead.
Because I wouldn't be. I think you guys are right that most parents are whispering that stuff into their kids' ear, but I also wouldn't be surprised.
In the Valley, they are.
The Valley, I think, is
Yeah.
absolutely bonkers on youth sports. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I just wouldn't
That's
be
when we
surprised.
actually signed him up for basketball in the Valley.
Really?
Yeah. Just because we think it'll be more
'Cause think
competitive.
about how
More
many-
intense.
Yeah.
Think about how many business owners we've seen. I think it's starting to come around now, but like there was a lot of people making very, let's say, sort of woke decisions or like catering to the Slack mobs that you wouldn't expect to actually give in on that. So
Yeah.
I think there could just be a generation of parents that are doing the same.
Yeah, you could be right. I also think like youths, it's interesting because like, and this is more of a function of my LA bubble, but I know for a fact youth sports is bigger than ever.
Yep.
Right? Like every sport is on fire.
Yeah.
But in our bubble, sports is not important, which is really interesting.
Like, what do you mean?
Like a lot of the parents don't.
Celebrate their kids' sports achievements?
No, I think what he's saying
He's just
is
saying they're not into it.
no. In the Valley, everyone thinks their kid's going pro.
Yes.
In the city,
Yes.
everyone's like, this is just a good extracurricular activity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's more of like we got to be outside.
I love
get
that
some
it's
sun.
We need to burn some time.
Yeah,
That's how it is on
I
this
love that
side.
it's 7 minutes away.
yeah.
It's 7 minutes down
And it's
one
a different
road.
planet.
Yeah.
It's a different planet.
I mean, there's kids. I've heard stories of 6-year-old kids being told, "Hey, we're going to go to Barcelona for the summer for a soccer camp,"
Yeah.
thinking they're like going to be the next Messi.
At 6.
That's cool. Yeah.
If we're going to Barcelona, we're hitting a wine bar.
Yeah. You're not playing soccer. You're not going to soccer camp.
that's like a real story.
Yeah. I believe it. Yeah.
You can't tell anything at 6. For anything.
How old's Dom?
6.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, he could easily, in 3 years, never play sports again.
That's the problem. It's not that you couldn't take him to Spain and see some progress. I should know this of the three of us, but do you guys know any details about the family that took LeBron in?
No.
I'm just so curious about that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're to blame for, like, we've talked about how LeBron, not only is he a freak athlete, I don't know how much they had to do with that, but just like the way he never got in trouble.
Yeah.
And LeBron's mom is notoriously pretty wild.
Yeah.
And so
she was in and out of jail.
Yeah, and you would think that in that environment, like, it would raise like a pretty wild person. But I wonder if did they do some?
Who knows?
We don't
Developing?
hear about them anymore.
You
right?
don't. No. And I even kind of asked when I went to Ohio, No one really talks
Whatever
about it.
happened to the Johnsons?
I was like, where's the Johnsons? And no one really knows.
They're like, maybe LeBron paid him and said, "Shut the fuck
He might have
up."
been like, I don't know if I need this part of my story.
Yeah,
I grew up here, made it to the league.
yeah. People don't want to hear the fact that
Shut
you
the
got
fuck
help.
up. Yeah, here's some money.
Yeah, here's a mansion.
But wow, okay. So now our friend
Yeah,
is going to have himself an MLB.
yeah.
I mean, come
This
on.
guy's
kid
gonna be
can
in the
make it.
league.
I mean, it's only 6 years.
Yeah, he's 12. So yeah,
18. He's not going to college.
yeah, he's a first round draft pick.
Oh, man. That's incredible.
But think about it. Here's
Do you know how much money our friend has spent? By
Yeah.
the way,
Can you give me like a ballpark?
60, 70 grand.
It'll be worth it.
it'll be way more.
Those contract sizes by the time he makes it.
It might be $1 billion.
Holy shit.
It's pretty fascinating.
That's really good.
Yeah. So
We got an athlete story.
we do have an athlete story.
Big news on social media is Taylor Swift back on tour.
In Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires, first time back on tour since since things got serious with Travis Kelce. And
Big
gave
lyric
him-
change.
Gave him a pretty big shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What's
she had
the song?
Karma.
Karma.
And I think that line might have been Karma's the guy on TV coming straight home to me. And she
Yeah.
changed it to Karma's the guy on the Chiefs. There's like 20,000 different angles of her saying it, Travis's reaction. Travis was standing next to her dad.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that. It looks like it's real. I like
And
that.
she
And then did you
she
see the
left
one-
the stage
Yes.
and made out with him.
Ran and made out with him.
That's good.
I think it's real.
Maybe it's
This
real.
guy's the next Rock.
Why? He shouldn't even just have kids and just be billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
No,
There's
but I
no
think
Yeah, why bother?
he's gonna
You
be
know
in
why?
movies.
He could, but why bother?
I know, but do you understand?
I think he retires after this year. That's my prediction. He's 34. Gronk's 34.
he's 34.
Yeah. Gronk's
So they'll
34.
win
Has been
the
out of the league
Super
for
Bowl.
2 years.
Win a Super Bowl.
Might win the Super Bowl. He's already got 2. And I think he retires
Have little
and starts
Swiftie
doing
babies.
movies.
I think he
He could.
Him
retired.
and Kevin Hart.
He could. He totally could.
He could.
But why?
I actually think the risk of doing movies and becoming even more famous jeopardizes his relationship with Taylor Swift. Because you'll be in tempted situations
Yeah.
and it's a wrap.
I mean, they've known each other 3 months, so we have no idea.
But I think it could be real. Why
it
not?
could be real, of course.
But
The internet thinks they're going to get married.
I think they're getting married.
Yeah.
Because
how
she's
old is she?
34 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time.
Time, settle down.
I mean, I don't know
If they
anything.
cranked out 2 kids and she comes back with an album at 38,
She takes 5 years. That's her gap, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, then she'll go on another tour, make another billion
Now
and
she
a
has
half.
kids and her
Then
family's
you
on
get the
tour.
videos of Travis and the little babies in the crowd with the big headphones on. You already know.
I like it.
Yeah.
And Taylor Swift's tall, right?
She's not
I think
short.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to have
5'11".
some freakish athlete kids.
Yeah, this guy's 6'5".
Yeah. It's pretty wild. I think it's real. I think maybe I was wrong.
So Taylor Kelce.
Not bad.
That's
I mean, he's already
that's a new
like-
name.
Yeah.
She's hanging out with the mom. He's hanging out with the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dad's high-fiving him when she says,
And like the guy, he's in the middle of the season. I know he has a bye week, but he flew down to Buenos Aires. It's just fucking crazy.
it's crazy.
She flew to Germany, right?
I wonder what the
No,
team
she wasn't in Germany.
I wonder what the team dynamic is. Like, don't you think the team is probably like,
Well, Brittany Mahomes
Travis
is
is-
now part of the Taylor Swift.
So that's
like-
fine. And she's the
So the
first
whole-
lady of the
Yeah,
so I bet
Chiefs.
Mahomes and Kelsey are fine.
Yeah.
But I wonder if there's beef on the team,
No.
but also like the entire
there's, like,
NFL.
He's balling. He's
Is the-
balling.
Is
Because
it-
there was that footage of Brittany Mahomes, Taylor, and Sophia Turner. Is that her name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the squad. And they were walking out of a New York restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Selena Gomez or something
Yeah.
like that.
And I think
As long as you win, like Travis
true.
Kelce's also balling out of his mind this season.
That's true.
As long as you win, you go win the Super Bowl and Travis and Taylor
Oh my
Swift.
gosh. NFL has to rebook it. Who's doing halftime? They should give Taylor Swift whatever
no, she already said
wants.
no.
They asked.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah.
Maybe if
Give her whatever
Kelsey's
she
in the
wants.
Super Bowl, she goes, "Yeah, I'll do it, whatever."
I mean, the NFL can't stop posting about her.
Yeah.
Just give her whatever she wants.
By the way, I know this is a topic later, but I want to jump to it. In the Disney earnings report, which turned out to be okay, subscriber base up,
Okay.
cost cutting down, a lot of like progress was made.
Yep.
The interesting feedback they gave was ESPN is the most followed brand on TikTok now. 41 million followers.
Yep.
That's wild.
So the guy that runs
Omar.
ESPN's socials, that guy Omar, who started House of Highlights, sold to Bleacher Report. And it's interesting because like when you think of TikTok and most followed brand, you would think Shein or Fashion Nova. I don't know. I would think of 100 other brands before them.
Yeah.
And the fact that ESPN is number one is pretty impressive. The one other thing about it that I like, someone just made a comment like 3 days ago about this. They posted 65 times in 24 hours.
But just like think, this is why
65 times in 24 hours.
The reason
ESPN did.
I'll tell you why it doesn't surprise me.
No, just everything from cultural to game clips to.
The only reason it doesn't surprise me is because
But is
number
that the
one,
strategy?
sports are so hot.
Yeah.
And number two, they have endless content. They have, every
Endless
Sunday,
great
how many,
content.
like constant, the best content constantly, like what it would take for any other brand to source that amount of content. And to what you were about to say, I do think it's the strategy on TikTok. I think it's post as much as you can humanly post and let TikTok do the work. TikTok.
So let me ask you a question. I'll give you an example. If that is the case, shouldn't MTV be one of the biggest TikTok accounts ever?
It's just ridiculousness.
But I'm saying, if you took historical content from MTV, which is music videos.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would say, the only reason I would say no is because it's also old. But I think that there is an opportunity to create a new MTV that's essentially what House of Highlights was to ESPN and sell it to MTV, be the Omar of, like, I think Omar, he owned House of Highlights.
Yeah.
I wonder what they pay him at ESPN.
Probably
it's
not
not
much.
enough.
He's definitely underpaid.
7 figures.
You
Like, in
think
my
he's getting
mind-
7 figures?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
In my mind,
He's getting
they should.
500 grand.
Yeah.
Oh
I think
my.
ESPN scams these guys.
He deserves no less than $50 million, in my opinion. In my opinion, they should have bought him or House of Highlights, Aquahire, him from House of Highlights for $50 million.
All right, so let's see. Let's do a TikTok challenge.
No, hold on.
Put in the TikTok comments right now how much you think Omar is getting paid by ESPN. Guess.
My guess
And
is
maybe he
500K.
responds. Maybe he'll respond.
He DMs me sometimes.
Yeah. Let's see if he
Does he?
responds.
I guess he wouldn't tell me how much he gets paid, but
You know what's
I
funny?
could send him this
First
video.
take, the amount of money they spend on that show,
yeah.
I think at the peak they get 800 to 900,000 views
Yep.
on a weekday.
Yep.
And typically I think it's like 500,000-600,000. Stephen A makes 12 million a year.
Yep.
The other people are all making 7 figures.
Dude, why can't Omar make 7 figures?
I think they're
They
just
don't
taking
value
advantage of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Omar. So anyway, in my what I'm saying is I think there's an opportunity for someone to make, like Cole Bennett, to make the new MTV,
Yes.
promote it via like TikTok, whatever, and either or not, but sell it to MTV or like there's a
I
big.
finally saw another show on MTV.
What was it?
It's called like The Challenge or something. I keep getting spammed it.
Is
I
it
mean, it's
new?
probably Road Rules and Real World Challenge
new or
from
is it a
25
rerun?
years
I have
ago.
no idea. I was like, MTV has another show?
It's crazy. If you think about Rob accidentally sort of essentially has a network. Like when he had the idea for Ridiculousness, it's like saying this will be a network, the Ridiculousness network. And all it does is plays Ridiculousness.
I think we fucked up when we were like shopping a potential TV show. We should have just gone with Rob. He would have put us on MTV.
Oh, you mean group chat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we didn't, huh? Yeah.
We'd probably be billionaires like Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, we fucked up.
Just do a 3-minute pod right before Ridiculousness.
Yeah,
Can we float that by him?
Yeah.
He still runs the network,
Yeah,
right?
let me bring that back up. That's funny. Anyway, I think that to have the biggest brand on TikTok, look, even if they pay him $1 million a year, to have the biggest brand on TikTok, the guy deserves $50 million. I'm petitioning.
And what's it's interesting
I
is
can almost guarantee he's not making $1 million a year.
Okay, let's see.
If
Hit
not-
the comments.
Omar, DM us.
If not, that is
And he's like 25, I think. He's young.
But like, and he still runs House of Highlights?
No,
he
they
left.
bought it.
He left. That's Bleacher Report.
Okay, but did he own it? So he sold it? What
I
happened?
think he sold House of Highlights to Bleacher Report.
And then he went to work for ESPN.
Yes.
Whatever it is, he's underpaid.
Yes. I mean, do you understand what ESPN's TikTok is worth? What would you guess? It's worth $500 million. The most value,
What's ESPN? Can you even break out what that's worth?
10 billion. ESPN's worth $10 billion.
No,
easily.
more. It's 50% of their profit and revenue. So what's Disney worth?
100 billion then.
So what's it? Hold on.
200 billion.
Okay, if you're talking 200 billion, I'm not kidding when I say this.
Disney's probably $250 billion company.
I'm not kidding when I say this. Their TikTok's worth $1 billion.
Okay.
It's where, if you looked at the total consumption and the top of funnel fucking entry point to the brand.
Yeah.
Like for me, and this is why I'm so biased, I only find out about what's going on in sports from those type of accounts.
Yeah.
So
if you looked at the numbers.
Disney's a $161 billion company. ESPN's half of that.
So that's 80 billion.
I'm not kidding. I think it's worth $1 billion.
I think it might be more, right?
Because then, if TikTok Shop works, if all this stuff, like whatever this turns into, that amount of attention, all I'm doing really is valuing the attention. That level of eyeballs and attention, I think, is worth $1 billion.
This kid's getting scammed.
I think
either way, no matter what he's making, he's getting scammed.
I think if I'm like the NBA or Major League Baseball, I would pay him, give him ownership of a fucking team.
No, the NHL or MLS should just pay him $10 million a year.
Yes, he's worth it.
Just do it from the, like, obviously,
yeah,
you can go to those other leagues.
Or, by the way,
I would do it if I was a team. If I was the Lakers, I would do it.
Yeah, it's
but
worth it.
They won't pay him that much.
But I'm saying I would. If I was the Lakers owner, you have the money, you have the fucking hottest practices, clips from this.
Do you know what that's worth if you're relevant like that on TikTok? The amount of product you're selling.
I do. It's yeah. And I'm just telling you, it's where.
Should we be posting 65 times a day?
Yeah.
We should be, right?
Yeah.
All right. Josh.
Let's get on
that.
Yeah, we should. This is the thing about TikTok.
There's no downside.
There's zero downside. So like the thing about TikTok that's so incredible, that's not like any other platform, is you can use it as a tool. It's essentially a crowdsouring tool.
Can
it's
we
just
hire
here's
Omar?
everything.
I mean,
Maybe.
he's only making.
If you're right, if we're right, no. If you're right, yes. You use it as a tool to find what the best content is. There's no downside.
Yeah. All right.
All right, that's cool.
The best content of the weekend was.
Woohoo! I told you, I tried to tell you, it was my content recommendation, and you guys did a little chuckle, like, fighting again?
Yeah, it's always fighting.
No, we got the president, got Big 4-5 out.
And so was that at Madison Square Garden? Is that why?
That's Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
Yeah. But he goes to a lot of those fights.
Okay.
Especially now. I honestly,
It's marketing.
yeah, I think now
And Danny White loves him.
look, if you're him, for the next year, he should go to every pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But why not? They love him.
And it goes viral.
Yep, they celebrate him. Every fighter, when they're done, from all over the country, these people that like he was the evil villain to 6 years ago, go up to the cage and like say what's up to him after they knock a guy out brutally, and he's twitching on the ground. They're like, Trump. And everyone cheers for him. They used to not show him on TV when he would be there. They'd kind of hide it. I'd be at every one.
So Trump, Tucker Carlson, Don Jr., Kid Rock, Dana White walk into a bar.
Yep.
No, they walk into Madison Square
I know,
Garden.
but it's like a joke.
Yeah.
It's like
That's our future, I think.
it is.
I think, I don't want it, but I think that is our future starting next year. And I think it is going to be
I actually
so
don't.
confusing.
I actually don't.
What do you think?
I think social media has convinced us that this whole like red wave is happening.
Yeah.
But what we saw in the polls,
He's got his
2 days ago?
abortion, yeah.
If he changes his
3
mind
days
on
ago?
abortion,
it's not
if
reality.
he just admits, I've had 3 abortions.
Yeah.
How many abortions do you think Donald Trump has?
10.
10, exactly.
Day before voting opens, he should say, by the way, forget that whole abortion thing. I've had 10 of them.
Yeah, it's all good. Melania, come
Red
on. How
wave.
many times have I
Red-
told you
come
that?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you guys listened to All In
Yeah.
this past weekend
Yes, I did.
with Kushner and whatever. And they made this statement where what you think is happening in the mainstream media versus what's happening in social media. Social media is actually what's real. And I actually think it's the opposite.
Well, it depends on the topic.
Yeah, it depends
on the topic. I do think in certain
social
cases,
media has actually like convinced us that.
Right. I mean, that's how some of the woke stuff is.
I think certain things
Like
definitely.
you think that like everyone's outraged when like it's a pretty niche group.
Yeah.
So I agree.
By the way, I don't know if you listened to the All In pod.
The last one I did.
I love Jared Kushner now.
I know.
And I hated the motherfucker for 10 years.
Yeah.
I listened to it like I was on the flight.
He was definitely way more measured than he can be under the Trump administration.
I mean, considering his, you know, if you think about like his tree, where he comes from.
Yeah.
Meaning that obviously his dad and he's a wealthy, privileged.
Mm-hmm.
He's like what people hate in America.
Yeah.
He's literally that person.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously grew up a Democrat. Then he marries
Ivanka.
Ivanka. Yeah.
Yep.
Ivanka Trump. Isn't that his wife?
Ivana.
Yeah.
Ivana. Oh,
Ivana's Trump's wife. Ivanka is his daughter.
Okay. And then, you know, I was talking to someone who listens to the pod about this. He's like, think about it from the perspective of like, this guy he worked with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
In that White House. Can you imagine?
Jared Kushner is highly intelligent.
He's very smart.
He's very fucking smart and seems to be very like mellow from a temperament standpoint.
He did on the episode.
Like he didn't raise his voice and whatever. He just seemed like a Zen dude. And then he's working for Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's
How did he even deal with it?
I don't know.
I mean, he should look a lot older than he looks. He looked great.
Probably facelift.
Maybe.
I mean, he lives in Miami.
Yeah, he lives next to his Democratic brother in Miami.
Next door, he was a Democrat.
Yeah, they're like neighbors.
I mean, yeah. He what's funny is he said that in the Obama years he became an independent.
Yeah.
I think he just basically has to be a Republican right now.
Yeah.
I think he's an independent. I don't think he's a Democrat
I actually
anymore.
think he's pretty moderate.
I didn't realize he was that much of a Democrat.
Oh no, the
Obama.
Kushner's family was like
So his brother Josh
big donors
Kushner,
to the Clintons and
his brother Josh Kushner
still
is married to Carly Kloss, who they're very liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
and they
pretty,
live next door to each other. So
I think he's like I mean, if his father-in-law was in Trump, he'd be fucking president.
You know what sucks?
no, he doesn't have the charisma. I mean, I think he's really smart.
I think he gets smoked in it. He's like,
You have
Well, if he has to go against his father-in-law, he's toast.
Yeah. He'd be like, remember when
What
you
drugs is Trump on? He looked great in the.
Was
he's
that
just, yeah, he's just high on patriotism.
I'm not even joking. Like he,
USA?
like,
It's called
physically,
USA.
physically, he didn't look like disheveled. As a
Everyone jokes about like how you see the before and after pictures of people in the presidency, and Trump's the only one who got younger. He just loved
really
the
took
chaos.
TRT. What's he on?
I don't know. Who knows? But look,
Everything.
this is the only thing I wish, and I guess it's not totally possible, and we probably wouldn't have heard it anyway. But like, I wish we could have heard an interview like that while Kushner was working in the White House.
You can't.
I know, but I just wish you could have. Like, it sucks that like we have to make up all of these stories.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not his fault, but like you said, the guy looks like everything you hate. It's not even that he is.
Yeah.
His face looks like
His face looks like you know how people like want to punch Taylor?
yeah.
Offer?
Yes.
They want to punch Kushner.
Yes. It just looks like
Not that I'm comparing Taylor to Jared Kushner.
yeah, Taylor. But you don't. I never heard him talk like
ever.
that, or you know,
Ever. I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever heard the guy talk.
yeah.
Lex Friedman, you heard that?
I listened to some of it, but like I didn't finish the whole thing. But I like that like he was able to engage in the entire conversation.
He talks. He's very long-winded.
He also was very quiet though when they weren't talking to him.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was interesting.
He wasn't trying to
Yeah, when they were
talk.
talking about the economy or like other things, he just
I wish Jake Cal was on there.
yeah.
He's like, I would have pushed back on like.
I will say I think J. Cal's got a little Trump derangement syndrome, though.
Yeah, I think he honestly, I love J. Cal, but I think it was good that he was not on that episode because I think it would have.
No one pushed back. That was the problem, right?
What would you have pushed back on, like, for instance? Because it didn't feel to me like there was a thing to push back on.
Yeah, he wasn't giving opinions on anything.
Like, it was more like, here's the work that we did. Here's how complicated the Middle East is. Yeah, I mean, you could push back on, like, the current administration kind of unwound that a little bit. But I didn't feel like it was a very, like, competitive environment.
He didn't come off condescending in any way.
No, of course, he did not come off condescending, but there's things you could have pushed back on.
I don't know what.
Can you give us one?
I don't want to get canceled.
Isn't it the other way around? I thought you were allowed to say whatever you want about the Trumps and the Kushners.
Yeah.
Well, either way, maybe J. Kyle would have done great, but it does seem, I don't know. It's really interesting.
I also think it goes back to, like, I don't know how many people listen to that episode of All In, but it's probably in the millions when it's all said and done.
For sure.
In a month, it'll be millions of people, right?
For sure, yeah.
You would never get that on cable news in this day and age.
No.
Even if you went, and he said it, even if you went on a Fox News or CNN, he's like, it's not the right medium.
Yeah.
And I think people like Elon and now listening to Jared Kushner and even the entire All In cast, they can't go on mainstream media because of, I think, time constraint is the number one thing. Forget like just the loony kind of host that both sides have. The time constraints of commercials do not allow these people to formulate a thought and just like Elon Musk. If you're going to put Elon Musk on a Saturday Night Live, it needs to be 4 hours.
Yeah.
You cannot be 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I've listened to Elon a million times. He pauses for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Because he's thinking.
He's just like, I need to formulate what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
You can't do that on Fox News or CNN. They're like, they're screaming at you.
It blows my mind also. Another thing, kind of like what we were saying about ESPN and Omar and all that stuff, is like, how does mainstream news not see that and realize that, like, it's over? Like, it's the beginning of the end. Like, how is Tucker leaving and going and making content on Twitter? Which, by the way, I know, Anand, for instance, you are a huge not Tucker fan, but Theo Von interviewed Tucker Carlson, and it was fucking hilarious.
Really?
Yes. Like, it's not that I'm a Tucker guy, but I saw that and I'm like, what the fuck are they going to talk about? And I watched it.
I feel like Tucker is like, it's going through like his version of post-Trump, where people are kind of like changing their mind about it.
Yeah, they are. They are. And he's also affiliating himself with the right people. Like, he's doing a Theo Von interview. He's doing these different things.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're letting him leave, and now he's just making nonstop content on social media. He's now essentially new media. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How do you not see that, like, they released the ratings of CNN shows, the absolute top of the top show, or CNN and Fox, is like 300,000 viewers. All In is going to quadruple that on their Jared Kushner episode.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But the dollars still go there. That's what's crazy.
I know, but you're like, it's like they're almost like fat and like blinded by the fact that advertising dollars are coming in right now. But eventually,
I know, but how
the dollars are going to follow the eyeballs.
Yeah.
And so you're just going to wait until it's too late.
Unfortunately, All In, I don't think there are any advertising.
No, they purposely don't.
I know, but maybe if P&G said, okay, here's 20 million a year, they may change their mind.
But let me just see.
No, I think they,
at 20 million, you're not changing your mind?
Well, Chamath is doing $9 a month to follow him on Twitter Spaces.
Okay, that's probably like an Elon, like.
That's strange.
It was strange,
right? Why would unless weird. Elon's asking you to.
Maybe they're just asking. I feel like that's like. Let me get into the SpaceX round.
Tucker. So let me just say,
exactly.
They don't do advertising, right? But Tucker Carlson, Theo Von has 3.4 million views just on YouTube. So then you add Spotify. Here's a clip right below it from it with 600,000 views. Like, this thing got 20 million impressions.
Yeah. And to the right demo, young people.
And your hit show, I mean, literally the hit show on all those networks is like 300,000. Then there's a lot that are like 30,000.
Oh yeah, like I remember when like I would when you would hear about like these shows and like, hey, do you want to dress so and so? And I'd go look up how many views. I'm like,
yeah.
what? I get more views than that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, literally.
And by the way, I can get more views than a CNN show if I just walk up and down Hollywood Boulevard for the weekend.
Yes, and I remember because when we used to do TV, every Monday we would get our ratings, and if we would have got 300,000 viewers, we would have been canceled.
Yeah.
In the early days, every Monday we'd be like, are we getting canceled or are we going to survive? Like season 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And it would have been canceled at 300,000 views.
Yeah.
And now that's the top. There's so many in the 50,000.
Yeah.
And what the fuck? It's so weird.
So why aren't we making more money?
Because advertisers hasn't figured this out yet.
Yeah, they're not here yet.
We're literally, if you think of like, I wonder how many advertising dollars a show on CNN that has equal viewers to our podcast gets.
Probably a lot.
Probably a decent amount.
Millions of dollars.
If you do TikTok, YouTube, podcasts,
Yeah.
100%.
We'd be like the 6 p.m. show.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Okay, how about this? Speaking of someone else who realized something a little too late, this is going crazy on social media, and it's fascinating to me. In San Francisco, Xi is coming to town.
Yep.
And, there's a lot of hype around this thing because they said, as I mentioned it on Friday, that, they're willing to talk. They're willing to come to the table about everything. There's a huge, APEC is going on there. So just so that I'm clear, because I'm not the most well-versed in this, that's like leaders from a lot of different countries, CEOs, a lot of very important people.
So it's called the Asia Pacific Economic Corporation.
Okay.
Oh, Cooperation, sorry. And it represents more than 60% of the world's economy.
Okay.
Leaders from 21 nations over the next 6 days.
Love it.
So Biden's coming and and they're set to meet on Wednesday.
Yeah. So that's the big deal. But then there's going to be a lot of people there. So
Yeah.
San Francisco has notoriously been, I would say, at least by the news metrics, the worst city on the kind of COVID collapse, woke policies.
Downtown San Francisco, by the way, since COVID, I've basically been to every major downtown.
Yeah.
San Francisco has definitely fallen the hardest.
Okay.
The downtown area.
Yeah.
Right? Like the suburbs are thriving.
Yep.
Even the outskirts of the peninsula are fine. Just like that core area.
Yep.
When we were there Friday night, like 2-3 weeks ago, we were walking around. We'd go to Walgreens. Everything is literally caged up. It's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I have a hot take.
Yeah.
If you're like a commercial real estate investor,
Yeah.
San Francisco is it.
Obviously now we know because Gigi is cleaned it up.
So here's what happened. Let me tell the listener what happened.
It's separate from, go tell.
So what happened was it's been notoriously very, very bad. Now that all these people are coming to town, they just whipped the whole city into shape in like 2 seconds. So everything's cleaned up. The homeless people have been, relocated. New murals have been painted. It's just beautiful. There's cops everywhere.
They
it is
fenced
absolutely
off
beautiful.
the sidewalks.
And then I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot because apparently they said, because I'm guessing that they were trying to preempt the complaint, which is that, oh, you're going to spend all of this money for all of these rich people coming here. They said no department spent any extra money. They all used the money that was already in their budgets. But the reason why they also fucked up there is because it's like, okay,
you had the money.
You had the money. All you had to do was direct focus. What were they working on this whole other time? And you did this all with the pre-existing budget. And so now there's this huge, conversation about, is the government just choosing to let cities disintegrate?
Yeah, the government is incompetent.
We know that.
Is in your mind, is that strictly incompetence?
It's strictly incompetence. The people in local government, and no offense to anybody who works in local government, the leadership of local government is completely incompetent in every major city in America. Every single one. They're literally the dumbest fucking people. And that is why.
But like, what the fuck are they doing?
I will say though, yes, 100% right. Local governments are completely incompetent.
Yeah.
I do think San Francisco is having a comeback.
Yeah, this weekend. They cleaned it all up.
Yeah, now.
No, even before, like we went 2 weeks ago and I've been going every few months since 21. 21 was really bad.
So it feels like it's on a good trend.
Yeah, it feels like the trajectory's up.
I definitely think it's up. I agree with that. It's still empty.
It is, but I know it's going to sound cliche, but AI is going to solve it.
No, why? If AI works, which we all believe it will, there should be no one there.
No, the companies will be there and filling up the spaces.
No, they won't. They're going to be like, we don't need any of you idiots. All you Indians, go back.
Okay, well, look, I like the... you guys are on, both sides of the guess, as usual. I like it. But
it's such a beautiful city. It's such a beautiful city. Like we went 2 weeks ago and we were driving in and I was like, man, this is a beautiful city. It can be fixed.
I do believe it can be fixed.
But let me take it back to the question is how the fuck, like, okay, so it can be fixed.
Yeah.
But are we just going to go back to the old shit after Xi leaves? Like, what do you do about the fact that if it is just pure incompetence and there's so much money being given to the city, like, what do you do? They let it get so bad.
They just don't care. They think everything is like we're at a point in society, if you support something, they'll find the opposite of why. Like, it's a similar thing. If you said you supported Mr. Beast, then he's like, oh, he's exploiting Africa to get views.
It almost feels like progress or like things going well is sort of frowned upon at this time.
Yes.
Like if there's not suffering visible all over your city, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You're a part of the problem.
Yeah. You need to be miserable and then
and then now we're maybe we're okay.
Yes.
It's crazy, dude. What could they do to LA? Tell Xi to come down here.
We should invite him.
We should.
She's honestly
Xi, which camera should I look at?
She would love to have you here.
Xi, let's say formal invite.
This
here
is a
we
TikTok
are.
clip.
We're down on
Xi?
Wilshire. Just come drive by. You don't get out. Just go do your thing in San Francisco. Drive through LA.
Stop by. I'll tell you the neighborhoods you need to stop by. Downtown LA.
Yes, please. Hollywood.
Yeah. West Hollywood.
Yeah.
Venice.
Zip around.
Clean it up.
Cruise down Melrose real quick. There'll be no more
Watch
Rolexes.
crime is gone.
It will be. It's so crazy. You know what else? Okay, so also correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is a story. What happened in San Francisco, that's the type of story that we've heard in like really bad countries, like when the Olympics goes there.
Yep.
I don't know that I've ever really heard that story here. Like, didn't San Francisco used to just be pretty good as is? Maybe we'll power wash the
sidewalk from shit. Whatever.
Yeah, real quick. But for the most part, you could kind of come here.
Yeah.
Foreign leaders could come here. We never really heard about like extreme makeovers of whole cities.
Yeah.
It's a little third worldy.
We are third worldy.
We went third world. Third world D.
Third world D.
It's a little third world D. Right? Isn't that fucked up? Doesn't that make you sad or no?
It definitely does, of course, right?
It's just weird. Like we're doing what they do in like Brazil when they have,
When Obama comes, everything's fine.
Yes. We're doing that now.
Yeah. That's where we are. It doesn't make me sad because no one else cares. So why the fuck should I?
Fair.
I think everyone cares. What do you mean no one cares?
They don't care.
Everyone cares, but it's too big for them all to solve.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind that the government is literally the same as the worst run business with endless investors, except for the investors are us.
Yeah.
And they are just making such terrible. Imagine if you had a board meeting and you're like, hey, we really got to just clean up for just this weekend. And then the team went and did it. You'd be like, what the fuck have you been doing the whole rest of the time with our money?
And it's actually
Crazy.
By the way, really sad. I know you and I have different conversations, but about government waste.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Government waste. The scale.
The scale.
Yeah. I know it is.
It's hundreds of billions of dollars
What are you talking about? It's trillions.
Are you talking about locally?
everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's trillions.
No, I mean, our budget's only $2 trillion. So
Okay,
we
one
can't-
is a waste.
Oh, come on.
One is a waste.
Yeah, ones.
If you told the U.S.
just couldn't
government
have
you got $1
easy.
trillion to make it work, let me
Easy.
tell you, nothing changes.
Nothing.
Yes, and we have $1 trillion extra dollars.
It's actually shocking as I talk to like people that are in the know.
Yeah.
How much money is wasted.
I'm in the know. I know we waste money.
The only place where we
Okay.
really fucked up is not getting in early to a business that sells to that waste
We
machine.
need to be government contractors.
Yeah.
Can someone who listens to the podcast make group chat a government contractor?
That's the business move. The
Yeah.
business move, I think, if you're a young person, is
Just
like,
get a government contract. Yeah, 100%.
yeah. Think of a business that takes advantage of that waste because it's endless. It's going to continue going up, and no one gives a shit.
It's 2 trillion going to 2.1 to 2.2 to 2.
If you-
that 0.1 is 100.
Every other company in the world is going to get the benefits of AI. The U.S. government is going to go the other way. We're going to hire 7 billion IRS workers when AI could probably solve all the problems.
It's wild. But this, I think that the reason why this is getting so much attention is because it's so in your face. It's literally like if I was Biden, I would have been like, can you come to any city but San Francisco? Because we're going to have to clean that shit up. And it's really going to stand out if it was San Francisco. Like it just happens to be the city that's in the news the most for being the most fucked up. And then they just fixed it all overnight.
Just for Xi.
Just for Xi.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have done it for Biden.
It would not.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris is from there.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
I also think it's a big deal that Xi's coming to America
That's a huge deal.
because Biden didn't go to China.
No.
And so
He never went?
He never went.
No, he didn't go.
And I think
They're bending the knee.
I truly believe China is in such a bad shape that they're like, all right, I'll show up.
Zohan might be right.
Sleepy Joe. Yeah,
Zohan might be
Zohan was
right.
right.
Yeah.
Zohan's a genius.
Turns out Zohan's a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, I mean, you would think, I mean, what the fuck do I know about foreign policy? But you would think that if they're
Let
coming.
me tell you, you know as much as anyone else.
True.
You're
Not
a
Jared
genius.
Kushner. Get him back in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think that if they're, our biggest, I would say, immediate fear with China is Taiwan. I would think.
My biggest fear is fear itself.
Who was that? JFK?
Yeah. That's a good one.
It's probably Taiwan.
Well-read guy.
It's probably Taiwan. You would think that if Xi's coming here, maybe he's not so quick to. Like, I think the fear was that, like, they don't give a fuck. They know that they're growing so fast.
They're not touching Taiwan if he's showing up in San Francisco.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
Seems a
100%.
little comforting.
Yeah.
Especially once he
I
sees how
agree.
clean it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would I mess with these guys? So orderly.
By the way, everything that you're seeing happening in the world right now, all benefits America. It just does.
Like, what do you mean?
I've been saying this for almost 2 years on this podcast.
Like people
this
are
is the
talking
most.
about,
This is the only investable place in the world.
but even just like oil prices are down like crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It was at $90 3 weeks ago. Crude oil is now trading at $76. That's an insane drop.
Yeah, I don't
during
think.
the middle of a conflict.
Yeah. It's just
And-
crazy that we're able to be so bad,
Yeah.
but it's just everyone else is worse.
Yes,
they're
100%.
so dumb.
No,
Like,
but
if
I
anyone
think-
else even was good competition, it would raise our level of play.
No,
We
we're
don't need
going
to
to be
have
more
to.
incompetent. We're going to be more incompetent,
Yeah.
and it's still going to be the only investable place in the world.
Someone posted something that said that
I mean, government contracts.
US has like the amount of $1 trillion companies that have been created in the last 30 years and the number of $100 billion companies
Yeah.
in Europe,
Yeah.
it was like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Europe is nothing.
I think it was
Europe's
zero.
nothing. China, by the way, the only good company of the last decade out of China is only one company.
Yeah.
And they sell cheap clothes. It's called Shein.
Yeah.
And they're about to go public for $90 billion.
And they should not be allowed to go public.
What?
They should not be allowed to go public in the U.S. market.
Okay, they will go public.
I know they will.
Oh, they're going to the U.S. market?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so you're talking about the
Come on,
only
where else are you going to go?
the only good company outside of America.
Yeah.
I would argue even in America, outside
What
of
about
like
ByteDance?
a handful of AI companies, It's Shein.
Wouldn't you throw a ByteDance in there?
ByteDance for sure.
I think,
But I mean, the fact that TikTok exists in America
ByteDance
literally just like boggles my mind.
Yeah.
I've been screaming on this podcast since 2020.
Screaming. Do you know what screaming is?
I didn't
Scream
hear
then.
any screaming. Okay,
I haven't heard any
You
screaming.
were pretty reserved.
Screaming is
You know
that's
what?
screaming.
Josh took his headphones off.
Screaming is more like a reflection of my take.
Yeah.
I've
Maybe
been
you're
very
speaking
consistent.
loudly.
But you want to know how dumb these people are? Is at the Republican debate, I think it was Nikki Haley, one of them, tried to call out Vivek for being on TikTok.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind here.
Yeah.
She said, why are you on TikTok? He said, because I'm trying to reach young people like your daughter. And then she said, don't talk about my daughter. But instead of being like, why is anyone on TikTok in the United States? Instead, you're just going to be like, oh, it's so, yes, my daughter's on it. Everyone's on it. But I'm going to shit on this guy for being on it, as opposed to addressing the real issue, which is that anyone's on it at all. It's just so like,
Yeah, they don't even
dumb.
understand what they're arguing.
No.
They don't. And
It's just like, oh, you shouldn't use that. That's the right way to handle it, is some 50-year-olds don't use it. Sick.
75 million people in America use TikTok. In 2
think it's
years,
more,
that'll
right?
be 150 million.
It's more than 75, right? I think 75 million young people use
I think
it.
75 million daily active users.
I mean, if they figure out there's so many options. So shopping's
going to work.
long form, if they figure out a true YouTube
I actually
competitor.
think that's the one thing I don't think they're going to win on.
I'm not saying that they will. What I'm saying is what's so dangerous is when you have that much attention,
You could do a
it's
lot
just
of things.
what you can do with it.
Yeah.
Because you can, other than just brainwash us, you can build a lot of other things. And I think our social media companies have notoriously been pretty bad at Instagram didn't evolve well. Twitter didn't evolve well. But if you could, YouTube essentially went from funny cat videos and people falling off of ladders to TV, to disrupting all of television.
Yeah. YouTube is worth more than all of television.
Yeah. And if TikTok can have a similar, it's still kind of trapped in quick videos. But if you can somehow, if they figure out music, if they figure out whatever, shopping, obviously.
Shopping is the thing they have to figure out.
Quick question.
Yeah.
What do you think Biden and G talk about? Or is
Nothing.
it just completely
They're both-
ceremonial?
I mean, we
It's
know
gotta be-
Sleepy
Sleepy's not doing much
talking.
talking. It's got to be their people talking, right? And they're just kind of like, oh, yeah.
First of all, I don't think Homie speaks English.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. So Sleepy doesn't speak English. So
He didn't speak Mandarin.
USA.
America. Minnesota. Yeah, it's got to just be
It's
advisors
just a ceremonial,
Ceremonial, yeah.
But
yeah.
the fact that I'm telling you, the fact that he's coming here.
Yeah.
to San Francisco. He's going to the belly of the
He
beast.
doesn't want to go there.
Yeah.
He's like, what the
There's
fuck?
not
This
even
is
nice hotel
Miami?
in San Francisco.
She must be pissed. He's like, we've
pissed.
dropped so far. We have to go to San Francisco.
I think there's not even a nice hotel in San Francisco.
What? Which one?
They said there's not.
When's the last time she was here?
In America?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. That's a good question.
Great
Can
question.
you look that up, Josh? But yeah,
Because he's probably picturing Miami, or New York. He's probably like, yeah,
New York,
going to America.
I'm sure he's been at the UN meetings and all that shit.
He's going to land in San Francisco and be like, what the fuck is this?
where's the pizza?
Yeah,
at?
where's the where's the babe?
Yeah, not there.
Oh shit. What do we got, Josh?
It's saying 6 years, but that doesn't sound right.
That sounds right.
Sounds
Yeah,
right.
that's all right.
Did he come
Because
visit Trump?
He's not coming. Yeah. Okay.
Did he? Oh, probably for what you were just talking about, NATO thing or something. No, what'd you say? Not NATO.
UN.
UN. Okay.
All right.
Did you guys see this humane? Okay, so this thing's getting a lot of press. This company called Humane, they made an AI pin, is what it's called, and it's essentially like a wearable AI gadget. So
You speak to it.
yeah, you speak to it. It seems like it's kind of like ChatGPT, but stuck
It's
to you.
integrated with ChatGPT.
There you go. And it has a camera in it. It has sensors. It plays audio, obviously, all
Yeah.
this stuff. I've actually seen, I'm curious your guys' take, because I've seen really mixed feedback. Like some people were kind of freaking out, like, this is so cool. Look at, AI evolving. This is so awesome. And then a lot of people were making fun of them and calling them fake Steve Jobs and boring and it was stupid and whatever.
So I agree with both.
Okay, that's fair.
I think the business itself, it's not going to work. They're not going to win anything.
Yeah.
It's going to shut down. It's going to fail.
Yeah.
I think same time they pushed the envelope on what I think is going to happen. The problem is that, you know, I always view everything can be disrupted.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. The iPhone is one thing I'm finding harder and harder to figure out how you disrupt it. I do think there will be a device that gives its kind of run for the money.
But don't you think the humane thing would be kind of like a Fitbit?
I think
Like
humane is a feature on an iPhone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? Like, I think they end up doing a device.
Or a watch, Apple Watch.
Yeah, I think Apple Watch is basically humane already.
Yeah.
So I do think I appreciate what they did, and I think it does push the conversation forward.
Yeah.
And I think Apple can go pay a fortune and just get a ChatGPT integration and call it a day. I just, you know, like in automobiles, it would have been hard to believe that Tesla, in my belief, will be the largest automaker in the world in the near future.
That's fair.
I think there's a lot of companies that have come and gone. I don't know if Apple, to me, it's like Microsoft, Apple seem untouchable.
Because the problem is now, not only are the products so good and the iPhone isn't really disruptible, but at this point, you can't, even if iPhone became like inferior to another phone, how deeply it's integrated. I mean, the way that my stuff works now.
I'll give it to you like this. If you're a Fortune 500 company, Fortune 1000 company, and you're on like an ERP system, the switching costs are so high, you never change.
Yep.
The switching costs of leaving an Apple iPhone.
It's like a normal person's ERP system.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is my Apple life is an ERP system.
Yep. And it's only going to get deeper and deeper embedded.
Yes. Like, I'm not fucking leaving this device.
Yeah. It seems like Apple stock, Tesla stock even probably, like it's still, it's like one of those things that's so big that it's like, is this still a good investment?
Like,
I just feel like,
to me, I would say that if I were to look objectively, of the big tech companies, Microsoft, Apple, and Tesla feel unbeatable.
I think Microsoft has a lot of room to grow too.
Yeah, tons. Yeah. I think Microsoft, Apple, and Tesla both feel like unbeatable.
I think Google has to figure it out.
I think Google,
it's so
your
weird
boy Sundar might be gone. Is that right?
I mean, how quick did that change? This whole ChatGPT thing. Yeah. I get that they like keep blowing out like little startups and stuff, but the fact that like they've pressured Google this much, this quickly is pretty wild.
The ChatGPT 4 with Bing search is unbelievable.
I have never done it.
So you have to pay $19.99 to get the full experience.
Yeah.
It's worth every dollar. It's incredible.
I was with an AI founder last night. The shit that's happening is crazy.
Is it on the app?
ChatGPT app. You upgrade.
I have the
Plus.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a.
ChatGPT can now browse the web, analyze data.
Yeah, but are you on 3.5 or 4?
I'm on 4.
Okay.
Just 4. It has it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's insane.
I mean, I just can't imagine. Like,
and by the way,
Google.
The thing is
Google.
They were asleep at the wheel
in the face.
And by the way, ChatGPT, that phrase, 2 words, whatever the fuck it is, a lot of letters.
Yeah.
That is a brand. ChatGPT is the top 100 brand in the world already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Right? Absolutely. We would all agree ChatGPT. Like Google is probably, if I were to rate the top brands in the world, I would say Apple's number 1.
Nike,
Google,
Facebook,
Instagram, that not Facebook. I would say Instagram, not Facebook anymore. And I would say ChatGPT is sitting there at like 85.
And it existed
soon to be
10 months ago.
Yes. Soon to be top 20.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think that
it gives you hope. ChatGPT gives you hope. What does Google give you? Results.
Paid for results. Gotta scroll past all the ads to get the truth. Yeah. Sponsored.
Yeah.
How did they miss that? Aren't they hiring? Isn't ChatGPT hiring all the fucking Google people for the last 5 years?
Yeah, it's also
no one
like
had coffee and said, "Hey, you guys are fucked."
Here's what it is. When you're the incumbent, you have a lot to lose by changing your business model.
Yeah.
So Google is still,
but that's their obsession. DeepMind, all that bullshit. That's their fucking...
It's the same thing as cable, right? Like cable's happening. We clown cable, but ESPN is still half of Disney's profits.
Yeah, always has been.
Google, ChatGPT could win, and Google could last for another 100 years.
But I don't get why Google lost when they bought DeepMind in 2014.
And you have all the data, the amount of data they have on searches and results and every
projects
webpage.
They've lost money on. You're talking tens and tens of billions of dollars.
Maybe Cinder.
Yeah, we need a new Indian.
We need a new Indian.
Yeah.
Definitely don't leave the Indians.
Yeah.
But you need a new Indian.
Maybe a young Indian.
They're not all going to be on the ball, you know?
Some Indians got to get canned.
Yeah. Man, it blows my mind that, like, disruption happens all the time. Obviously, we come from the fashion industry. You see how quick companies are hot one day.
Yeah.
And
no one cares the next day. But Google,
Microsoft, Sam Altman is in Google's backyard.
That's what
Microsoft in Seattle.
That's what I'm saying.
Have you been to Seattle?
I haven't. Of course I have, but I haven't been recently. But I'm saying,
but we know how people talk. Like, you could call any of our old employees and be like, "Hey, what are they doing over there at so and so?" I'll give you an example. There's one company where you guys probably know this. A lot of old, young, and reckless employees work now.
Yeah.
Do you know the company them?
Yes.
I think so.
I could call any of them right now and be like, "Hey, what are you guys up to over there?" And they'd tell me.
Yeah.
No one did that. No one bothered to be like, "Hey, what are you guys up to with that Sam fellow over there?" Oh, we're about to fuck your whole thing in like 2 years.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
How do you not find out?
There's arrogance. A lot of great companies have been killed.
So one
Eastman Kodak. Eastman Kodak got killed. Stabbed to death. Eastman Kodak.
See, that's a TikTok.
You know what's funny is
stabbed.
Because Sam Altman was at YC, which is 10 miles away from Google's headquarters.
What does YC even stand for?
Y Combinator.
What's Y?
Why not?
Why?
Youth?
Yeah. The Youth Combinator. I don't know about that. That might be a different organization.
Should it be WC then?
But I mean, the point is, Facebook was asleep. Apple was asleep. Everyone was asleep.
Great question. And also, isn't it that Elon was friends with Larry and then got freaked out and then started whatever with Sam? Like, they all know each other. I just don't get how you get beat out this badly. Maybe Google hits us with something in 6 months that we're like, oh, shit. Maybe Apple comes in with something and it's already embedded on everyone's phones. I don't know. I think
Google has to make an aggressive acquisition.
They already did.
Of what?
DeepMind in 2014.
But that's obviously means nothing. It means nothing.
Yeah,
Elon Musk launched fucking Grok in like
6 weeks.
Yeah.
He just decided to be
what have you been doing since you bought DeepMind in 2014?
Yeah, you're toast. It's management. It's leadership. Everyone's got to go. Sorry.
Sundler's got to go.
He's got to go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's unacceptable. You're trying to company.
Bill Ackman's fund, he crushed it on shorting bonds, but he's crushed on Google. So annually he's negative.
I'm gonna look
because he thought he was
he went long Google
because of AI.
I don't know.
Oh, he went long Google.
He was like, my grandma still searches.
Yeah, purging source.
But how would you not go long Google 6 months ago?
Because you thought they knew what they were doing. They don't. AI. I'm paying $20 a month for ChatGPT.
Me too. And I talk to some random voice twice a month. I just don't want to miss anything.
You don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You don't want to miss it. I'm always on every ChatGPT launch. When they tell me, I go play around with it and I don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
It's the brand too.
Yeah.
The ChatGPT brand is the closest thing to Apple we've seen.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, there you have it. We said we'd give you some energy for the week, and we did. We got a shout out.
All right. We got one. Fuck off. From Suel.
Oh, damn it.
I want to give a big shout out to my Oregon Ducks for beating USC last night. I think I speak on behalf of everyone when I say Michigan should be disqualified and replaced by Oregon in the playoffs. Thank you, and good luck next season.
Can't believe you read
USC, obviously, I had high expectations this season.
We thought we were going to win the title.
We're going to win the title.
that. Is it like over already?
We already lost 4 games.
Yeah. We're like basically...
We should be relegated.
Yeah. We're basically Google. We're the Google of college sports.
No, I think we're Carvana.
It seemed like a smart investment earlier in the year.
I think we're Carvana. We have a lot of debt.
We're like WeWork.
WeWork, yeah.
We're WeWork. We're
way
bankrupt.
overvalued. Yeah.
No, we're bankrupt.
Yeah. Well, but you had a lot of hype.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry about that. I know
It's
you guys
sad.
were really excited.
Sad. It's sad.
We thought we were going to
I was playing on a national title. I'm going to the game.
Like, you think next year maybe? Is it like
No. We're
way
done.
worse.
We're done.
way worse.
So it's over.
It's over. Yeah. We're over for as far
Because
as
Caleb Williams is going to leave.
he's going to leave. Our best player's leaving. And that's it. It's
We have
over.
our best player and we still lose 4 games. He's gone. So how many more losses is that?
10.
Yeah.
11. 12. There's only 12 games.
We had a good run. At least you guys got some excitement for the first time in a long
Yeah,
time.
that's what I
It's
do
fun.
at Notre Dame. Shout out to Avi.
Yeah. But
It was still fun.
All right.
At that point, it was fun.
This fun while it
Avi,
lasted.
withdraw all your money from the school.
Yeah, it's time to switch schools. Okay.
I have a shout out.
What do you got?
Pizza Palace, Indian restaurant in Silver Lake. I had to ask a mutual friend of ours to get a reservation.
Mm-hmm.
Took care of us. Indian, Italian, fusion.
Wow.
I heard it's
Sports
incredible.
bar.
So you watched the game there.
I watched the USC Oregon
Like, could
game.
you give me an example of a dish?
They have like spicy rigatoni there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the owner of the restaurant, Avish, who actually listens to the pod.
Really?
Yeah. He
Avish,
came
let
by
me
and
get a
was like,
res.
hey, I listened to the pod. Thanks for coming by. I was like, dude, I couldn't even get the res. I had to ask a friend to like get a res.
I've heard incredible things
So
about the
that-
restaurant.
is it
Insane.
new and just like popping off?
I think it's like a
No, it's
couple years
over.
old.
Yeah, it's
Food's
few.
incredible. Pizzas are incredible. He's done an amazing job.
Great.
All right, that's great. That's right up my alley. Okay, that's all we got. Everyone have a great week. Thanks for listening. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Peace.